Welcome everyone to the very first session of video learning. I'm really excited about these videos because it's going to give me a chance to delve into many questions that have come up over time, and I think they will be educational. At least I hope they will. In any case, today's topic is going to be the importance of understanding leading legs in dogs. I know that I have many horse clients as well, and you are very familiar with this topic, but I think it just needs to be talked about so that we can help our dogs as much as possible. So leading legs, what does that mean? What that basically means is that whichever leg is extended the most in the front, that is going to be the leading leg they're on. So if it's their right paw or right leg, they're going to be on what's called their right lead, meaning that they can only turn to the right. Same thing with the left lead. If they're on the left lead, they can only turn to the left. Many of you have heard me say that if the dog is on your left-hand side, they will be on their right lead. And if they are on the right-hand side, they're going to be on the left lead. The reason for this is because dogs naturally turn into us. And so whichever side they're on, that's the leg that they're going to be using, turning towards us. The importance of understanding this is how you need to execute the course, because you're going to have side changes, meaning the dog's going to start off on the right side and then have to be on the left side. And of course, when that happens, they have to change their lead legs. That being the case, we need to be able to tell them exactly where they're going and what they need to do so that they can be efficient and do their job without stress and without injury. So the first thing that, of course, we have to do is give our information in a timely manner. So that means before the dog takes off for the obstacle. And really that means in between the two obstacles. So if you're going to use a maneuver like a front cross, blind cross, or rear cross, which is basically what we're going to be talking about right now, there's many other handling maneuvers out there, but those three are really the meat and potatoes of agility, and will probably be used the most throughout your agility career. So any one of those crosses need to be completed before the dog takes the next obstacle, and that needs to be ideally one stride length before they take the next obstacle. In a jump situation, if the dog takes off for the jump on the wrong lead, then it's very likely to cause a notch bar, because if you then show them that they're supposed to change leads and they've already taken off for the jump, when they look at you to figure out what's going on, they're going to drop back leg as they are changing the lead. So you'll have notch bars. Another problem with the jumps and the wrong leading leg is that if they are on the right leading leg, they will turn to the right. If you're going to the left, then that means they have to double back or circle back, and then that creates what we call a donut, which is not that big of a deal, but it wastes time. The worst issue is that because it throws them off balance, they could land and injure themselves. And it's horrible after you put all this time and effort into training your dog up for agility and then have them become injured and out of play for a while. As well as we just don't want the dogs to be injured. I mean, that's not fun for them either. So when things like this occur, when you're telling the dog to go one way, but they're already too far into the situation to be able to change their leading leg, it's called a leading leg conflict. So that's what we need to do, is try to remove those leading leg conflicts. You will see these happening with jumps, tunnels, at least for the less experienced dogs, and weave poles. Now, weave poles, of course, they are changing their lead every pole, but it's the entry. If the dog is not on the correct lead, getting into the entry of the weave pole, which is going to be the left lead, because that's how they always have to go in, they're going to run past them. They're going to miss the entry, or they're going to go in late because they're going to have to change leads before they go in. So there are a lot of things that occur with leading leg conflicts: refusals, knocking bars, and running around obstacles, because they just can't do turn their body that way. So it's, when you're looking at courses, you really need to start thinking about, okay, what leading leg is my dog going to be on? What leading leg do they need to be on? How do I get them there? A good example here is with serpentines. And many people get really frustrated with their dogs on serpentines because they have trouble with it. They will generally run by the number 3 jump in a serpentine. So I've got a little diagram here for you. So here we go. So right here, handlers over here, the dog is going to be taking this jump on their right lead, but now they have to switch to their left lead to get the number 3 jump. And if they aren't really experienced with serpentines, or they don't get the information soon enough from you in your handling, then they can't turn into their left lead and get that jump, so they'll run past it. So it's harder for the less experienced, more handler-focused dogs to understand lead changes, and so you need to do whatever you can to make sure that your handling gives them that information. The more experienced, more obstacle-focused dogs don't have as much issue. So the way that you'll obviously see this is on tunnels, curved tunnels, U-shaped tunnels. If the dog is not on the correct lead going into the tunnel, so for instance, you're going to rear cross a tunnel. So if the dog is on your left side, they're on their right lead, you send them into the tunnel, which has a left-hand curve. The dog, again, won't be able to change their leads, at least the inexperienced ones. They don't know what to do, so then they will be the ones that pop out of the entrance again. The more experienced dogs, they're familiar with tunnels, they understand the obstacle, they can see the curve, and they will just self-adjust. So the more experienced, more obstacle-focused that they are, the easier it is for them to make those decisions to change their leads. Another problem comes in when we lose connection with the dog. So we just start running, and if the dog is supposed to turn away from us and we don't do anything to help them, we just keep moving forward and we're not looking at the dog, they're going to come with us and they're going to come into our right side and miss the obstacle. So these are all things you need to take in consideration when you are looking at course maps and walking your courses. So looking at course maps, I would recommend that as you go through it, you determine where the dog's going to have to change sides, change their leading leg, etc. And then when you get on to the course to walk it, you want to reevaluate that and make sure that things line up the way you thought they did on the course map, because sometimes the courses can get look very different when you're actually walking them versus what you saw on the map. So anyway, lots to think about there. We are going to go over and analyze a few course maps. These course maps are going to be from the AKC Vizsla Club trial that we just had January 31st through February 2nd. And we're going to go over the novice, the open, novice, open, excellent masters, standard, and jumps with weaves courses, along with the fast course. Just look at it and see where our lead changes need to be and where our maneuvers need to come in to help the dogs get through the course. All right, we'll see you there. All right, so let's get going with analyzing our course maps. Again, this is the Vizsla Club of Northern California, their trial that was held last weekend, January 31st through February 2nd. The first map we're going to be looking at here is a novice standard course. And as you're analyzing and looking at your maps, you just want to get an idea for the flow of the course and the different turns the dogs are going to have to make and how you can help them. So right off the bat here, we can see that 1 through 5, you're going to have to make a left turn for the dog. So I would want to start with the dog on my right-hand side, so that puts them on their left lead. So we'll be off to a good start. So we're going to start here at the tire, up the A-frame, over the jump, double jump, weave pulls, to number 5 jump. Now at this point, there is going to be a turn required because they have to turn right into the tunnel, which means they're going to have to change their lead from their left lead to their right lead. If they take the jump going to their right, they're going to have to double back like so to go to the tunnel. Doesn't really cost that much except extra time. And since it is a timed event, you want to do as best as you can and get the fastest time. So we want the dog to be efficient and actually take the turn going in this direction. So what can you do to make sure this happens? Remember, we have to change the lead prior to this obstacle in order for the dog to be able to make the turn properly. So that means that you're going to need to put in a front, a blind, or a rear cross somewhere in here. Of course, the other thing you could use would be a directional cue. So you could just tell the dog right, and they would then change the lead on their own. I find that to be very efficient. All right, so here we come. Now the dog is going to be on their right lead, going around this way, over the dog walk, over this jump here to the broad jump, and then to the table. The nice thing about the table is that the dog now has to stop and hang there for a bit, which gives you a chance to change sides and get the dog on the lead that you want for the rest of the course. So at this point, the dog is going to want to be turning right again. So you would have the dog on your left side, and you're going to come down here, take this jump, the teeter, and here we go again. We need another change of sides because they're going to be on their right lead, and then you're going to have to change to their left lead. So something's going to have to happen in here. You can either do one of the crosses here in the middle, or you can actually put a front cross in at the end of the teeter here, and then that will also get the dog on the correct lead so they can turn left to finish off this course. So there's really technically only 2 side changes. There's another one here on the table, but because the dog has to stay there anyway, it's, you know, an easy one to do. Let me just quickly go over these obstacles for some of the newbies in my classes so you know how to look at a course map. This here is the tire. This is the dog walk.
Should have said A-frame.
That is a double jump, and it looks like it's ascending because of the arrow, and ascending means that the first bar will be lower than the second one. Into the weave poles, that's weave poles there. Tunnel, dog walk, broad jump, table. I believe this is a panel jump here, teeter, and out. So your job is to figure out how you can get those side and lead changes with your dog in the most efficient way, in a way that your dog understands, and also in a safe way. All right, so we're now going to move on to the next course, which is going to be our jumpers with weaves, novice. All right, so at this point, I'm going to want the dog on my left side because I'm going to want them on their right lead for all this turning here. So we're going to start off here, over the jump, into the weave poles. Again, I think that's a panel. I'm not sure what those are, honestly, to be truthfully honest. But, okay, come over here. Dog's turning to the right, and now we need to turn him to the left. So again, what are we going to do? We need to dictate the turn before they take the number 6 jump. So rear cross, blind cross, front cross, in between these two, directional cue, left, would be the best bet in this instance. So right here we go. Again, you've made your turn or cross or something here, and you're on your way. The problem with doing anything in here, which a lot of people want to do for some reason, is that you're going to pull the dog in a different direction. You need the dog to continue to go straight over this line and then put the turn in, because they need the turn on the number 6 jump. All right, so here we go. Number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is all very flowy. Into the tunnel. So here's a situation where I was talking about earlier on the video. If you have the dog on your right side at this point, they're going to be going into the tunnel, and you're going to have to rear cross the tunnel here. If it's a baby dog and they're on their right lead, they're going to hit this wall on the tunnel, and they're going to turn around and come back out. Again, the more seasoned and experienced dogs, they're going to understand the curve of the tunnel, and they will adjust their own lead. But they're going to need to do a lead chain. change to get through this tunnel. And out we go. Now, another thing I want to caution you on is that when you're walking the course, you should walk it for your perspective to see where you're going and get, the lay of the land and find all the numbers, etc. But you also should walk it from your dog's point of view so that you can see any potential traps coming up. You'll notice that during the walkthroughs, the bars are on the ground. That enables you to walk through the jumps so you can see what's coming up and how it looks to the dog. And right here off the bat, I can tell you just by looking at this map, if it's accurate, is there's a big possibility for an off course between 4 and 8 here. Instead of going this way, the dog could go straight. Same thing coming around here from 7 to 8 to 9. They could take 8 to 4 instead of 8 to 9. So these are all things you need to be aware of so that you're able to really be connected with your dog and get them to come with you in the directions you need them to go. All right. Let's move on now to our open standard. There we go. So, so the novice courses seem to have 13 to 14 obstacles, whereas open's going to have 15 to 16 obstacles. So there's a little bit more to do in here. So again, we're going to start off, it's kind of similar to the novice standard course. The dog's going to need to be turning to their left through 4. So I would have the dog on my right-hand side at the start, and away we go through the tire, A-frame, double, weave pulls. Now, what are we going to do at this point? If you're blazing fast, you can probably get across in here between these two. But, yeah, that's going to be for the real runners out there. If you're not blazing fast, you could potentially rear cross the weave poles, but that's a pretty difficult maneuver and not something I would be probably trying to do in open yet, but nevertheless, it's a possibility. So another handling maneuver that you can do, which you hear me saying frequently, and people are always questioning why would you do that? So I would say use the offside hand. So you're coming around here with the dog on your right hand. As they get to the end of the poles, you can put up your left hand and get them into the tunnel that way. And why does that work? Because by putting up your left hand, it also turns your chest towards them, which pushes on their line, which creates a lead change. So you can also attempt that. All right, so here we go through the tunnel, up the dog walk, over this jump, and now out to this tunnel. So the dog at this point is on your right-hand side. If they have good verbal discrimination between the tunnel and the A-frame, I would definitely use it so that can give you the opportunity to, while they're running here, you can come over here and pick them up as they're coming out. And so now they would be on your right side. That would put them on their left lead. So here we go. We're coming around here, over here, and to the table. Once again, a lovely table that you can hold them on while you get yourself positioned for the rest of the course. Because this is a right turn for the dog, I would have them on my left coming off the table, over this panel, over this teeter up here. But again, we're going to need another turn here. Again, that needs to come in between these two or at the bottom of the teeter. To get the change of sides. So again, front cross, blind cross, or rear cross. Over the triple, and out we go. I really like these horses that this judge put out. They're pretty flowy. They're not too intense or tight. So it's nice for these baby dogs. All right, let's move along. We're now going to our open jumps with weaves. Here we are. So, now this is interesting because we have a wrap double back 1, 2, 3. So I believe I would probably just start with, let's see, dog on my, let me look at this here. 1, 2, okay. Yeah, I think I would just start with the dog on my right so that I could do a wrap cue like so. Pick him up on my left, and away we go. So dog on the right, wrap that. That puts the dog on the left. Right, wrap. Oh, no, yeah. No, we want the dog to stay on our, no, on the left. That's right. Okay, so, sorry, I'm confused here looking at the map. All right, so over the jump, do a wrap, dog on the left, and then into the weave poles. Yeah. All right, so around we go. Now the dog is on their right lead. Coming out of the weave poles, we got 5, 6, 7. Oh, now we have to make a lead change again. I know I'm droning on, trying to drill it into your heads, I guess. But a timely cross here in the middle somewhere, or a left cue will help you get this turn out of here, so the dog can change their leading leg in time to make that turn. Around we go here. 11, 12, 13, 14, tunnel. Again, this is not a bad thing if the dog understands how to change their lead legs going into the tunnel. Makes that much easier. And then straight out. Potential traps again would be from 6 to 10. Coming back, same thing, 10 to 6 instead of coming through this these two jumps here. This is kind of box work stuff because there's a lot of options for the dogs here. Again, pretty nice flowy course. If you don't give the dog enough space here, they will back jump this number 2 jump, which of course is an off course, and you're disqualified at that point. So just really work that. Give the dog enough space to come around. Wait for them to come around that wing before you turn out of your front cross, and then off you go. All right, moving on. We're now going into excellent standard. Let's go here. Yep. Oh, what do we do here? Go there. Excellent master standard. Oh, why? Come on, go away. No, out of here. Done. Go. No. Oh, what are we doing? Here we are at the excellent master standard course map. Typically, the excellent master courses have 18 to 20 obstacles. Looks like this one has 18. And I'm not seeing a 19 anywhere. Yeah, I think it's 18. And it has pretty much the same opening, probably some different distances or what have you, but as the other two standard courses had. We're starting off with the dog on the right. They're taking their left turn into the tunnel. So here we go. We're going up this way, over here, over here. Now, again, here's one where you could throw up the offside hand, which would be your left hand, to get them into the tunnel. So you don't really even have to fight hard to get across in if you can just do that. Or use your, once again, directional cue. Can't say it enough about those directional cues. Are so handy. All right, so here we go. We're coming around here, again, out to this tunnel. Around here, now you do need a lead change. So I'd want to be getting the dog on my right side for 9, 10, 11, 12. Another lead change here because now they're going to have to turn. Yeah, they're on there turning to their, they're turning to their left. Now they're going to have to turn to their right, coming this way. And up the teeter, around, once more, another lead change. You don't have a table this time to help you, so you're going to have to get your lead change in here. Again, in between here, at the end of the teeter. Around we go, triple, and out the tunnel. So, how many lead changes do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 crosses or lead changes in here that you have to be concerned about. And again, be looking for those off-course potentials because they happen very quickly. We don't even know it happens until it's over with. Okay, moving along. 2 courses left. We're going into the Excellent Jumpers with Weaves. And again, we've got 18 obstacles. I would want to start with the dog on my left, so they're on their right lead, which is only going to be for 3 obstacles, and then they've got to change their lead. So if you have a nice long lead out, you can do something in here. Maybe start with them on your right, and then you can just stay with them on the right. Just depends on the dog. But here is your next lead change right there. So they're coming around, and they are on their... oh, there's 2 of them here. That's kind of challenging. So they're on their left lead. Right lead. They have to change to their left lead and then go back to their right lead. So that's quite a bit more challenging. Then we come around here. 6, 7, 8, 9, into the weave poles. So let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lead change is going to need to be here at 8 as well. Weave poles. 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, there's a nice little loop-de-loop. 15, 16, 17. All right, so the dog is going to be on their left lead for here, 10, where are we? 10, 11. Yep. They're turning left, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to have to get them onto their right lead again for 17. Again, the more experienced dogs are just going to go in and do it properly, and then they come out and finish here. So, but there's quite a few here. Let's see what this has in terms of how many different lead changes or crosses we need to put in. So here, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Oh, still 4. Interesting. It looks like a lot more, but it's not. This here from 4 to 5, well, 3, 4, 5, that's going to be a big challenge. And again, beware, because as you're coming around, if you haven't told the dog where to go to take that right turn, they're going to look there, maybe potentially go there. So really look for those off courses. This is probably going to be another place here where there could be the potential for something not so nice happening, like coming from here to here. Yeah. So check all those things out when you're out there walking your course. All right. Last one. The fast. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to do time to beat too. Here's a time to beat course. This is just a smooth, flowy course. I think it was kind of supposed to be mirrored after the steeplechase runs at USDAA, which is just speed. You're just looking for some speed and getting the dogs cleanly through this course. Both the time to beat and the fast courses don't have anything to do with getting your championship. They are additional titles, but you can still get your championship without having these. Just running your standard and jumpers courses, you'll be able to get your championship. But I really like the time to beat and fast courses because it's a chance for you to get the dogs out on the course, get some of their willies out. You can also enter it as FEO, so you can go out there and practice things if you're having trouble with specifics like popped weave poles or missed contacts, things like that. So I definitely think they're worth doing. Plus, why sit around all day just for 2 courses? If you're going to be there all day, you may as well do as much as you can. All right, so here we go with time to beat. Starting over here, over the A-frame, over this jump, and here. So, yep, that's basically... So here you come. I would have the dog on my right to begin with. That would get him over number 3, but now we need a lead change to get to 4. So something has to happen in here. But since you have an A-frame, you could possibly do a front or something at the bottom of the A-frame to get them on the correct line. Now we're coming over here, number 5, over here to 6, and here we go. We're going to need another lead change. 7 to 8, 9, over the teeter, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, this is challenging. 16, 17, 18, 19. Ooh, 19 obstacles in this one. All right, so here we go. We need a lead change here. 3 to 4, 5, 6. Lead change here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lead change. 13, 14. A lead change. 15, 16, 17. Lead change. 18, 19. So this one's a little bit more complicated in terms of the different lead changes the dogs have to make. All right, and then lastly, let's talk about fast. Fast is, where's my fast? Oh, there. Fast is a distance challenge course, and also one where you have to design the actual course. The only thing that you have to do as far as inflow of the course is your send part, which the send is right here. When you look at your map, you're going to want to make sure that you see these lines and follow the instructions here. So the dotted line here is for the Excellent Masters. You have to be on that side, this side of the line. And for open. Novice, you can come in here, but you have to stay out here for the open and Excellent Masters classes. Of course, the object is to get the highest number of points. It tells you here how many you need to qualify. So you need 60 in Masters Excellent, 55 in Open, 50 in Novice. Tells you how much time you have to do it. So the send part is worth the number of obstacles within the send. So in Excellent Masters, it would be 13 points. In Novice, it would be 10 or 11. Same thing for the open courses. Plus, you get a 20-point bonus if you get it correctly. So in the Excellent Masters, it would be 13 points plus 20, so that already puts you at 33 points. And then you just have to get however many points to get to your 60 point qualifying. So, let me see. You can only take each of these obstacles once for points. And so you're going to want to design a course that will be easy and flowy for your dog so that they can be successful. So, I'm just going to run it from the Excellent Masters point of view, I believe. So what is theirs? 3, 8, and 2. Okay. I always like to have a good running start going into the first obstacle of the send. This isn't really giving me a whole lot of options, but let's see how I would do this. Here's the start. You have to take this jump for the start jump. You want to avoid this one until the very end, because if you cross that jump prior to getting done with what you have to get done, you don't have a choice. You're done. It's always live, which means that once the dog takes that jump, your time on the course is finished. And you just get whatever points you have. And if you don't get the send and the bonus, whatever they call it, then you're not going to qualify anyway. All right, so how would I approach this one? Well, because I'm trying to work on distance, I probably would start with here, maybe going here, over here, into here, and then let's see, maybe coming around here, like this, to the teeter. So I'm getting all my points right now, at which point I could bring them this way, up over the A-frame, And then I might just go ahead and, for speed's sakes, I would go this way, bring the dog back here and into the tunnel. Over this jump. Back into the tunnel, like that. So now I've gotten all the points for that. We come out here, and we could come down this way and grab this jump on the way out. Maybe the weave bowls, double back and take this. Or if we're coming back this way into the 2, could also maybe pick them up over here and into the weave poles. And then do this jump and go out. This jump here, I don't really see where I could do it. I mean, if once I got out and walked it, I might find a different way, a different path of doing it. But just looking at the map, those are some ideas I would be throwing out to myself as to how to get the job done. So, in any case, hope that was helpful, and it makes you take a look at your course maps a little bit more closely. I think it will also help you with memorization. If you know that you're going to need to put in a lead change between 4 and 5 and 8 and 10 and etc., etc. So I hope that this makes your lives easier in terms of designing your courses and your handling. And yeah, so you just have a lot more fun.